What's up, fellow drivers? David here, and today we're talking about the Z Proto and what will likely be called the 400Z. Before we get into it, really quick, I'd really appreciate it if you like the video. If you haven't already, take some time to subscribe. It really helps me out, and it only takes a second. So I'm meeting up with some friends to cruise in the GTR. I'm the CEO of No Haircuts right now. But I want to talk about the new Z Proto because I think we're all pretty excited about it. The Z is one of the longest running sports cars for any Japanese manufacturer. It started way back in the 70s, and currently we're on the 370Z generation. And quite frankly, it's getting really old. It's an awesome car, I like it, but I think it came out in 2008, so it's actually even slightly older than the GTR. And in reality, the 370Z was just kind of a refresh of the 350Z, which came out many years even before that. So we've been running on the same Z platform for a really, really long time, and we're definitely due for a refresh. And these are just kind of my first impressions, my thoughts from seeing the photos that I'm sure you guys have all seen. Got them up here for you to check out as well if you haven't for some reason. But I want to talk about the styling first. It's definitely that kind of retro styling, which is cool in a way. I mean, they're definitely trying to, attach themselves to that heritage of the original 240Z or the Fairlady. And I like it in a way, but also I feel like that trend was really big like in the early 2000s. And maybe we're kind of past the whole new retro look. But besides that, the silhouette is great. When we saw those teaser images, it looked awesome. The back actually reminds me of an S14 with the taillights. I can't be the only person that thought that, right? If you thought that too, let me know in the comments below. And overall, the car looks cool, but the front is where I have the problem. And I think I can't be alone in that either, right? It's just kind of ugly. Now, this is purely subjective, but I don't like it. That grille is like completely squared off. Like it's a straight up rectangle. It has completely square angles. The front kind of looks, I don't know, not quite the right shape. The headlights are a little too small in proportion. Maybe I'm nitpicking here. The good news is it's a prototype. So I believe Nissan has said that they don't plan to change it much, but it probably will change at least somewhat, and hopefully for the better, because I really expected it to look better. I was super hyped for it when I saw those teaser images of the silhouette, and then when we got to see the final reveal of the prototype, I was like, I don't know, it's kind of ugly. So next, let's talk about what's powering it. Nissan says that the Z Proto is being powered by a V6 twin-turbo engine. People speculate that it's probably the VR30, which is powering, I believe, the Q60 and possibly some other things from Infiniti. So it's a pretty good engine, and not really any complaints if that was the final power plant for the car. It'll have a lot of tuning potential. It's kind of like a mini VR38 DETT that's powering the GTR, so that would definitely be cool. People also speculate that it'll be called the 400Z, probably indicating that it makes 400 horsepower, because that's the output of that engine in some other models. And 400 horsepower would definitely not be anything to complain about. That's going to make one fast car. I believe that's more than the Supra, and we'll kind of talk about a little bit of the Supra comparisons later on. The Z Proto also uses a manual gearbox, and that's going to come for the final version as well. They're also saying that they're developing an automatic version. So I guess before I get into that, super excited that it's going to have a manual option. I think it's great that they're keeping that alive. I really enjoy driving manual, but I am almost more intrigued by the fact that they say they're developing an automatic option, because that kind of implies that they're not using some automatic transmission that they already have. So maybe I'm reaching here, but maybe it means that they're developing a new dual clutch for it, which that would be pretty cool. Having a dual clutch transmission would definitely, kind of take it to that new level. So you can have like the ultimate performance, and you also have the pure driving fun option of having the manual. Okay, so getting back to the Supra, The Z is definitely going to be positioned as a Supra rival, and further evidence, as I've said many times before, the Z is the rival to the Supra, not the GTR. And it's going to be pretty cool to see that, these two new generations of them. And I gotta side with Team Nissan with this one. I'm both a Toyota and a Nissan owner, of course, but I think the Z is just cooler because, disregarding anything else about the actual car, Nissan is developing it in-house. Basically, Toyota was involved in a marketing exercise. BMW made 99% of the car, and then Toyota, designed different body panels and supposedly tuned the suspension and stuck their badge on it. But more or less, it's a BMW. That doesn't make it a bad car, but I think it's really cool that it shows that the spirit of making high-performance cars is still really alive in Nissan because they're completely developing this car in-house. To be fair, they do say that it's a new version of the platform of the current Z generation, so I'm not sure what that means. It could be that they're still sticking with the same basic chassis to keep development costs down. I don't know, but at least it's their own car, and it looks like many, many things will distinguish it from the previous generation, even if it is the same basic chassis. The other win for the Z over the Supra is the fact that it has a manual transmission option. Now, maybe Toyota will eventually offer it in the Supra, but they haven't yet. Nissan's going to do it right out of the gate, and I think that's definitely a great decision. Also, despite the fact that I've said that I don't like the front of the Z Proto at all, they probably will make that look better. And overall, I give the car's styling way higher marks than the Supra because it doesn't have fake vents stuck all over it. And I've talked about this in my impressions about the Supra when it first came out. I just find that so tacky that Toyota would put these just literal fake pieces of plastic, fake badges stuck all over the car like they bought them at AutoZone or something. The Z doesn't have any evidence of those, and it looks like everything on it is going to be functional, clean design. So it's currently scheduled to come out in spring of 2021. That's fast approaching. By the time we get out of quarantine, it looks like we'll have a new Z to look forward to. I'm probably not really its target market, right? Because, from the GTR, I'd be kind of going down, and then for my cheaper fun car, I have the MR2, but I'm still really hyped for it, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be super hyped to buy this. Those are my first impressions on it. Let me know what you think of the new Z. The Z Proto probably will be the 400Z. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.